Pretty much we are where we are. Obviously George Knott's 1 week closer to play and Tame Basham's 1 week closer to play in, so whether that'll be this week, next week or the week after depends on, like, they've all got through today pretty healthy, which is great, and then it's whether the blend is, are they in the squad or does it work, does it not. So yeah, we're pretty much where we are. Picked up an injury either in the game or a couple of days before the game, a medial ligament injury grade 2, so quite severe. He's a tough kid, Gonzalo, and he was like, I'm coming to South Africa, coach, I'm coming to South Africa. But we saw a physio, and you can't help but love someone like Gonzalo because of how tough he is, and he ploughed on. But realistically, he's needed full rehab and full treatment, and he's back out running, so he won't be far away. It is, and suddenly everyone's available for selection, and players who you think probably would accept where they are, want to play, and you see an edge around the place, and it's been great. There's nothing like Christmas week, is there, if we're honest. I used to love it as a player, I love it as a fan growing up, and I love it as a coach, and it's the best time of year. Firstly and foremost, what a squad they've got. You look at the individuals. I mentioned it last time we played them, if I remember correctly, and they've got superstars all over the field, and they should be a flag bearer for Welsh rugby, and you're seeing their performances again week by week better. They're becoming a smart team. Obviously they were a very dangerous team when Jared Evans plays. He's arguably the most attacking 10 in the Northern Hemisphere, and he can do stuff that no one else can do in Welsh rugby, and they've got the variety then when Priestland plays, because he's a lot more of a tactician and can pin you in corners, and having a squad balance of having 2 10s like that can do both things. It gives them multiple options, and people like Josh Adams don't just grow on trees in Welsh rugby, and Toby Faletau, and they're in the same team, and any team that has players like that are dangerous. So we need to make sure physically and tactically we're on point, because you give Owen Lane a sniff, you give Ray Leo a sniff, they're going to create 7 points out of nothing, and we've got to eliminate that. But secondly, we've got to break them down. With Rich Hodges as their defence coach, he's clearly doing a frigging superb job with Cardiff's defence at the moment. They've had a couple of zeros, which don't happen too often. They've had 2 in the same season. He's lost the last 2 games. They're hard to break down. They really pride himself on the defensive contact area. I know, knowing Rich quite personally well as well, he works extremely hard to make sure that he upskills all the players. So we have to make sure we retain ball in every opportunity we get, and we look after, again, talk about it, going back to the fundamentals of the game of rugby. You look after the ball, play in the right areas, and then we've got an opportunity to win the game. There's battles all over the park, isn't there? You look at the back three, like Rio Dyer's a pretty good bloody player, isn't he? And he's going to go against Josh Adams, Owen Lane, and that's international quality. You look up front in the back rows alone, Moriarty, Wainwright, Longsdale, Harrison Keddy, Ben Fry going against Thomas Young, Ellis Jenkins, Turnbull, Faletau. It is a Welsh trial, and we can hide and say it's not, but everyone knows it is, and there's no better time to play your best rugby. I was just looking back over the history of the games, and they're very close games, but the problem is they're all close that the Cardiff end up winning, and you close or hammered, you lose a game, everyone's disappointed, and we experienced that on the weekend. Again, I live quite a simple life, and I want our players to understand that when we win, we're not as good as people say we are. And when we lose, we're definitely not as bad as people say we are. There's over 12, 13, 14 opportunities for us to create edges and execute on the weekend, and we didn't do it. If we do 1 or 2 of them, it's a different game, and that's why we just got to be very, very realistic when we come back into work, and very honest about where we're at. Certainly in house, we know we've got in our changing room, and that can compete with anything on any given day. And I'd be disappointed if Di Young weren't saying, look at the threats they've got here, and I'm sure we worry a lot of teams, and that's a shift in our mentality as well. We know now we're building a bit of a reputation of becoming, obviously, I'd like to think, a better team, which teams respect a bit more, which means they're a bit more alert when they play the Dragons now, and usually when teams are more alert, they bring a better game of rugby, and it's on us to keep improving. Great, isn't it? I think our community team at the club have been superb since I've arrived. We're super proud of the team, behind the team we've got here, and we want to inspire the next generation of Gwent kids to play for the Dragons, and they're doing their bit up first and foremost. And you're seeing the amount of kids we're getting at home games, and how players are interacting with them, because the players know they've got to be role models. It's part of the job, and we want to inspire the next generation. So to get a full house on Boxing Day is awesome for us. It will be, and it's on us to make sure we keep the crowd loud, because I'm sure Cardiff will be coming to make the crowd quiet, but there's nothing like Rodney Parade in Welsh rugby, is there?